Hi, welcome. We are on the last signature of our album that we've been working on, Autumn Greetings. Now I do need to revisit the last signature, and I'm a little bit disappointed in myself, and I know you're wondering what in the hell I was thinking, so I'm just going to be honest about it. I created this pocket with the intent to keep this closed, but the problem was this pocket itself kept falling open, and I tried to find the tutorial on how this gal did this, and for the life of me, I can't find it. So the only way I can fix it right now is I've created another die cut, which I am slipping this in behind, and then this comes down, and now it keeps both of them closed. I'm going to tack it down just a little bit more. But if you have not made this yet, move this up, make another 3/4 inch band across here, across the bottom, just above your die, and then tack it down and then keep it open so that you can come in here just like this. I don't know how else to fix it, and again, I can't find the tutorial, so I missed a step, and it deeply apologize. So if you've got any questions, please do reach out, but that's the only solution I have. But I am going to tack this down a little bit more to keep it a little bit tighter, and then I'll just slide this in right here. So anyway, that's the only thing I can do. Again, my apologies. All right, so let's move on to the last signature. This is our base page. It is measuring at 7 5/8 across, and it is 7 7/8 tall. I'm going to do a bottom pocket, and I'm going to use some stickers, which I've already put in place. It's just easier for me to do that. And this pocket measures at 3 inches. Now you're going to score it at 1/2, and then it measures at 8 3/4 across, and then you're going to score it at 1/2 on each end. You're going to cut at a diagonal away from the corner so that when you fold these in, you have a nice little corner down here. And I put too much tape, but it's okay because I'll use the tape when it goes down on in the book. But you're going to then fold up the base, and then we're going to slide this right in here. Now I'm going to run a bead of glue down here along the bottom on the inside, which will keep this page from falling out. And then I'm going to come in here and do the same on these 2 strips. And what we have now is a nice pocket that you can put a lot of things in. And then I cut from my scraps this piece that will set in just like this, and I will go ahead and glue it down. Now, I took this out of the stickers, and I then took this off. It's a strip. I took this off and put it down here across the bottom. Okay. Now there are a lot of rub-ons that if you wanted to, you could put a rub-on up here. There are several that you could use if you so choose to. I'll let you do that. That way you're embellishing it on your own. I'm going to pull my sleeves up here. They're in the way. Okay. Now, you're going to cut 2 flaps. They're going to be the same. 4.5 inches. You're going to score at 1/2, and you're going to score at 5/8. So again, 4.5 inches by the 7 7/8. You're going to score at 1/2 and you're going to score at 5/8, and you're going to want to make 2 of them. So then when you put these on here, you're going to bring that tuck. This is where I'm saying I put too much tape. You're going to bring the tuck. You know what? I have this just a tad bit too tall. Well, goodness sakes almighty. It's a good thing I didn't put anything on there. I'm not quite sure. I gotta double check this. This is crazy. I cannot believe I did. Let me check some more. I did. Well, goodness sakes. So let me give you, it's okay, at least you're going short. I didn't give you a short measurement that then had to go long. So this ends up being oh well, I was right to begin with. Maybe my ruler's bad. 7 7/8. Okay, so we'll go back to putting these on. I'm bringing them right up to the 1/2 inch score mark. And when you put this on, you're going to feel a little bit of pushback down here because you've got this bulk that this needs to go over, and that's normal. Just give it a good press. And then when we turn this over, we're going to push back and rescore that 5/8. Okay. All right. Now, so on the 8x8, I picked this pattern piece. This is so funny because this is cut right. I used the last of the floral pattern to go on the inside. And I'm going to glue these in place. This is a 12x12, by the way. This is from Scraps. Now, this is from the 8x8 as well. I need to put my pieces back together so I know what I'm doing. I'm kind of flopping stuff around here. And then I took this piece and reversed it so I could use some of the rub-ons. This square measured 3 3/4 by 3 1/4, and I was going this way with it. And I used just some random rub-ons just to kind of decorate this. So why these should be the same height? Well, I know what I did initially was I wanted it to be this pattern. Let's see, I've already done this. And I forgot that when you cut this, you have a pattern that's going to cut on the reverse. Will it work this way? You know what? I'm just going to come back to these. I'm getting a little frustrated with myself. I didn't pay attention that I had those going. I knew I had them going in opposite directions. That's what happens when you cut on a diagonal, but I didn't realize it when I finally made the finished product that I had the wrong angles lined up. So I'm going to go ahead and get these put in. I will come back and fix something. I wanted an angled pocket here. And I suppose what I want to do next isn't going to work because of how close I have these two pages. But we'll see. There are these little tags that are in there. I wanted to use them. Okay, so to use them, I'm going to have to come all the way into the center. And I don't even have him. Just wanted to use them, give something a little different. Oh, for Pete's sake. Okay, just something different. Hold on just a second. I need to blow my nose. I've got allergies. All right. Now, your right side pocket, and I've already placed a magnet, and I may have to move it because I did this ahead of schedule. So this pocket is going to measure, this cut is going to measure 4.5 inches by, this says 8 inches, okay, so 4.5 by 8. You're going to score it at 1/2 inch, and then you're going to score this one at 3/4 of an inch. And the intent here is so that this gusset wraps around. So the gusset's on the outside, not on what I refer to as the top. It's going to wrap around the outside. So when you do that, this is going to come, you're going to line this up right along that 3/4 inch gusset mark, score line, so that this wraps up and over. You might need to pull it up over the score line a little bit so that it wraps correctly. It's tugging on this and it's not letting me get in here. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to open this up, make sure that it looks like it's supposed to. Okay. Now, this piece is going to measure 7.5 by 8, and you're going to score it at 1/2 and at 3/4. And we're going to go through the same process. We're going to come right up onto that 3/4 inch score line. And my magnets are connecting, so maybe I've placed them in the right spot. Wrap this over, press it down. I'm going to open it, and I've got it. Looks good. And I got good connection on my magnets, so I did something right there. All right, let's get back in here. So on this side, I have this piece. And this is coming out of a 12 by 12. No, these are 8 by 8s. And then I used almost an entire 8 by 8 over here, and I used a partial 8 by 8 over here. And then I cut a pocket here, and my pocket is 2 inches by 3 3/4, but I'm I'm basing that on the width of this paper that I cut. So your width might be a bit different than mine. Over here, oh, let me finish. Then I used this beautiful little green polka dot. I pulled this out of the chipboard, added some ribbon to it, and it's going to go right there. Over here, let me center this for you. This piece measures 2 inches. It doesn't count this, remember, by 6 3/4, and again, that's based on the width of my trimmed paper, so be cautious that your trim might be different than mine. So then I put, this is going to go here. Oh, I'm missing something. There it is, that's right. There's some brown ribbon that came with the collection, and I am putting it down the center. I've added some tape to the back, and then this is going to go right over the top of the ribbon, and then this is going to go center, and then I took this piece out of the chipboard and I added a small piece of ribbon to it. Can't put a large piece of ribbon because it'll fall out of the bottom of your book, so I just put in a small piece so that it was a bit of a decorative. You can cut this back, and I might end up doing that because it does seem kind of large over here. So let's go ahead, if you've got your pieces ready, let's go ahead and get these in. Okay, so I cut this so that it would go right in front of that score line and right to the end of this trim line here. Whew. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this on. And I'm going to glue this guy on. I am going to trim these. I think I might do it real quick before I put it in the book. Just trim him down a little bit. Okay. Have some glue coming out of there. Probably wouldn't. Okay, so that one's in. I just saw something and I don't know what. Okay, I got to give a little bit of full disclosure here. My doctor changed some of my meds and I do not like how it makes me feel. I feel like I am in La La Land more than half the time, and I'm getting a little frustrated with it. So I apologize. I feel like I am just not there. I'm scatterbrained. And I am, so I deeply apologize. I really do. Okay, so that went there. But now when I close this, I have this piece and I didn't do anything here. So I will leave that up to your imagination. You do what you will with this piece. You've got plenty of chipboard. You have plenty of ephemera. So you can which means, oh God, I feel stupid right now. I'm so sorry. Okay, this goes in here. I'm really humbly embarrassed, folks. All right, so this all goes to the outside. This I'm going to tape because I've got a magnet sitting over here. Ay, ay, ay. I hate sharing shit like that, so I apologize for being blunt, but I do. Oh my gosh. All right, let's get this burnished a little bit here. And I'm going to set this in here. Being mindful that I've got a score line over here and I don't want this to land on it. Okay, so let's put this on. And then I'm going to put the ribbon on. Nice and snug. Then I'm going to glue this on. I'm going to put a dab of glue there on the bow knot. Okay. glue there. All right, so that's my internal. Now we'll work on the external. So I'm going to tape this down. And like I said, I forgot to do something on it, so maybe that was a hidden agenda. I don't know. Like I said, you've got plenty of scraps that you could decorate with it. You could leave it the way it is and put a photo there. You've got ephemera you can use. You have chipboard pieces. You have rub-ons. So it gives you an opportunity to personalize it. I'm really feeling bad about my mistakes. I really am. I might come back and do something, give some thought to it. This is so pretty. It's just, I love the colors. And I forgot to ink it. No magnets, so I can just glue this down. And then we're gonna, I know what I forgot to do on this. So give me 2 shakes. I wanted to put a, die cut across the top of that. All right, so I gotta turn this over. I'm gonna put a bead of tape across the top of this. Now, I I don't know, there we go. Now I want to try to make this as even as possible when I go to take it off and cut it. And of course, like a knucklehead, I took okay, so now this will go right here across the bottom. And then this will come in and get glued right here. This is all off of the rub-ons. I just think he's so adorable. And these are all some extra leaves. This is one set. Now, I left this on there. I didn't want to try to cut it out. But when you go to trim him out, you could trim in here and take that flower out. I just left it. But these 4 leaves, 2 at each end, were separate. So I added them just to give it some length. And then this is out of the ephemera. I backed it on cardstock and I've got it on pop-ups. So I'm going to pull those off, and then we'll be, for the most part, done with this part of the signature. Now, you can go back and make, if you want, or just leave it alone. If you want, you can cut some diagonal pieces. I can use these 2. I just have to cut the correct pieces for placing on here. And I have to be mindful of my pattern and the direction that they're going. So I'm going to do that, but I'll do that off camera because I did want to have a couple of tucks here. Now so you've got this big pocket here, and then you've got these nice little tucks here. You've got an opportunity to do what you wish there. And we'll go ahead and get some tape on the back of this, and we'll get it in our album. And then for the most part, the album's done, unless you want to do those finishing touches. And again, I do apologize on the previous signature. I missed a step, and for the life of me, I tried to find it, and I apologize. But I hope I've given you a workaround, or maybe you've created your own workaround, but that's on me. This has been such a beautiful, fun collection to play with, and I really appreciate Scrap and Create them sending me these collections to play with. And we can simply put a nice little card right there on the front. Actually, I had oh no, big one. That one's fine. All right, so here we go. Yeah, I need to tack that down a little bit more so it's not quite as loose. Now I'm going to bring it almost to the end of the book, the chipboard, because we have lots of room here. And then I'll start pulling the tape out of here. Now when you pull the tape and you go to connect it, make sure that this gusset's standing up straight, that it hasn't collapsed down on you. And you'll do the same on this side as well. Now I'm going to hold this up. I'm not going to let this tape connect that I just took off because I want to make sure that this gusset stays straight when I go to put it down. Ta-da! All right, so there you go. And I appreciate you hanging in there with me. So if you're so inclined, come back on the next one. I'll be playing with Graphic 45's Merry and Bright. That's another new collection. So I'll see you then. Bye-bye.